while we're waiting for Zari and Smith, we'll just flip the lesson around. So we were going to do something kind of together, kind of separate first, and then do the part in the book second. But since we're waiting on Smith and Zari, and the part we are going to do in the book is individual, that means on your own, we'll go ahead and do that first. Thank you, Carla. So what you're going to do is open your book to page 7. If you were humming, please stop. Open your book to page 7. And you guys are going to read this story of St. Thomas Aquinas yourself. So you're going to read page 7 and 8 on your own, because it would really be, we would not be able to finish it if we read it out loud. So we are going to have to do, this religion book is very different. There's going to be a lot of independent work, okay? A lot of reading comprehension. So you're going to read this story on page 7 and 8 first, and then look at page 9. You're going to answer the questions on page 9. Try to use complete sentences. Remember, what 4 things do complete sentences need? Colin, tell me one.
A period.
An end punctuation at the end, either period, question mark, or exclamation point. Michaela, what's one more thing? A subject. Who or what the sentence is about. Victoria, what's one more thing? A capital letter at the beginning. And then what's the last thing? So we need a who or a what, the subject, like Michaela said. Well, what else do we need? What else is really important? Otherwise, it's not. Can we only have a who or a what? Carla.
A predicate.
A predicate, the action, what's happening. So go ahead and read page 7 and 8. I'm going to give you, it's going to be probably about 20 minutes to read page 7 and 8. And to answer the questions on page 9. Make sure to write complete sentences. Remember when we did the first day and you guys answered the questions and you tried to pull things out of nowhere and they weren't really correct? And then we looked back and we saw that the answers were right there in black and white? Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. It's going to be the same way with this. So the answers to numbers 1 through 5 on page 5 are in... Hey, Smith. Okay, we'll give her just a second. Smith, can you hear? Okay, I'm going to say it one more time. So, while we're waiting, we're just going to go ahead and flip. We'll do the thing all together later. But for right now, you need out your religion book and one sheet of clean paper. And you are going to read page 7 and 8 in the religion book by yourself. Then you're going to answer the questions on page 9. Try to do complete sentences. Remember, all complete sentences need a capital at the beginning and punctuation at the end, a subject, which is a who or a what the sentence is about, and then a predicate, so what they're doing. The answers are in this, on page 7 and 8. They are not asking you to come up with something off the top of your head. The answers are there. So what I would do is I would read the questions on page 5 first. Read the questions on page 9. Read the questions on page 9 first, so that then as you're reading, some of those key words will come up and you'll say, oh wait, what religious order did St. Thomas join? And then you're reading and it says St. Thomas joined the religious order, blah, blah, blah. Well, when you see that word religious order in the text, that's called a key word. That's going to tell you, oh, this is the answer to that question. But just make sure that you write in complete sentences. All the answers are on page 7 and 8. It's not asking you to come up with something off the top of your head. All the answers are on page 7 and 8. You just have to find them. And then you can write exactly what the book says for the answers on number 1 through 5 on page 9. Okay? You don't have to wait until you're finished reading. If you read the questions and then you come across one of those key words, you can go ahead and write the answer and then go back to reading. We're going to do this. We'll start with 20 minutes and then we'll see where you are. If everyone finishes before 20 minutes, well then we'll move on. Okay? Girls at home, if you see Zari come on and I'm not standing right here, just say, Miss Fola, Zari's here. Okay? And I'll come and admit her. So you will start out with 20 minutes. So read page 7 and 8 and then answer the questions on page 9. Start out by reading the questions. Then read. As you find the answers, you can pause and write the answers. Make sure you write complete sentences. Remember, just writing this is not a complete sentence. Because where's the action? We have a subject, we have a capital at the beginning, we have a period at the end. We have a subject, the Apostles' Creed, but we have no predicate. So make sure that you are writing in complete sentences. So the Apostles' Creed is the prayer that says what we believe. Okay, any questions? Here comes Ari. So I'm going to explain it one more time. Smith, while we're admitting Zari. Yes, Smith.
Did you say anything about the notebook paper?
Not yet. We'll do that later. We'll do that after the 20 minutes.
Okay.
So go ahead and begin. When Zari comes on, I'm going to tell her what to do. But everyone else, you can go ahead and begin. Read pages 7 and 8. Answer the questions on page 9. You have 20 minutes. Zari, are you there? So we are checking, we're going to check what we did. So you're using your red pen to correct if you need to. So number 1, when you are correcting, if you're crossing out a wrong answer, do not do this. Or that. You need to be able, you and I both need to be able to see your wrong answer. So all you're going to do is that. Just a little line so you can still see. Because if I can see the wrong answer, you're just going to draw one line through it. Because I want to be able to see the wrong answer, because then I can figure out how you ended up with that wrong answer, and you can too. So, number 1, again, Cullen, I'll have you do it again. What religious order did St. Thomas join? And I chose Cullen. Cullen, what religious order did St. Thomas join?
Dominican order.
The Dominican order. So your answer should look something like this. St. Thomas, I think I keep calling him St. John, but I mean St. Thomas. St. Thomas joined the Dominican order. If you have he instead of St. Thomas, you are still correct because you still have a subject. St. Thomas or he is the subject, joined is the predicate, and then the answer to the question, the Dominican order. Notice how the D and the O in Dominican order are capitalized. That's because that's called a proper noun, which we'll learn about later. Yes, Aaron.
If we didn't exactly write it the way you did, it's still
Do you have a subject and a predicate and then the Dominican order? Do you have St. Thomas or he joined the Dominican order?
I didn't. I wrote Dominican order.
Is that a complete sentence?
I got confused.
And how many times did I say make sure you write in complete sentences? And I even told you what 4 parts there were to a complete sentence. A capital, end punctuation, subject, predicate. Who or what the sentence is about, what they did. I said it a lot, so there's no excuses for not answering in a complete sentence. I even said you can copy it directly from the book. Who can tell me exactly in the book where the answer to that question is? Cullen, since you answered the question, you can tell me.
It is on the first page.
It's on page 7. If we look at the fourth paragraph that starts when Thomas was 14 years old, blah, 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 we can see in the 3rd sentence, it says, while in Naples, Thomas joined the Dominican order. So the answer is right there. Remember I said all of the answers are right there. Okay, so make sure you correct. If you do not have complete sentences, well, obviously, don't cross off the Dominican order because you have that part right. Just do a caret that looks like this, and then write St. Thomas joined or he joined the. Okay? Yes, Colin.
I forgot the saint part.
Yes, Smith.
If we have a highlighter, can we highlight the important information?
Sure. But just make sure that you can do it quickly. And if we move on, just pause and maybe you can go back and do that. Okay, number 2. The question is, from whom did St. Thomas learn? From whom did St. Thomas learn? Zari. Oh, what did you say?
He learned from the prayers.
Nope. From whom means what person? That's not what we're looking for. Whom means a person. Zari?
From Jesus.
Not from Jesus. Who can help her out? Carla, can you help her out? Don't forget to unmute yourself.
He learned from he learned at the universe at
Nope, it's asking from whom. That means what person did he learn from? Victoria?
His name was Albert. He was so great at teaching.
Louder. Just yell.
His name was Albert. He was so great at teaching. They called him Albert the Great.
Good. So you should have Albert somewhere. You should have he or St. Thomas. That's the subject, either St. Thomas or the word he. Then you should have learned. That is the predicate or the action. And then, of course, the answer from St. Albert the Great. If you just have the name Albert, I would count you correct, but I want you to add St. Albert the Great. So you should have a subject, which is St. Thomas or he, a predicate, which would be learned, and then, of course, the answer from St. Albert the Great. Victoria, where did you find that answer?
I found that answer on the first page down below.
So at the bottom of page 7, if you look towards the very end, it says, Thomas made his way to the University of Paris and there learned theology, philosophy, and science from a Dominican friar whose name was Albert. That is why I accepted Albert. Aaron, But if you kept reading, you would see that that was not his full name. Later, Albert would also become a saint and a doctor of the church because he was such a great teacher. He was later known as Albert the Great. So you see, that answer is there in black and white. Yes, Zari. Zari, what was your question?
you keep on breaking up.
Okay, yeah, I can't really, there's nothing I can really do about it. So just, if it's to the point where you don't know, you can't follow along, if you can follow along, that's fine if it comes back long enough. But if you can't, you can watch it on YouTube later this afternoon, okay? Because I can't really do anything about that. So just, if you need to, watch it on YouTube later. Okay, so number 2, the answer is St. Thomas learned from St. Albert the Great. Number 3, it says, what did St. Thomas spend his life doing? What did St. Thomas spend his life doing? Kingston. Number 3, what did St. Thomas spend his life doing? Make sure you're being loud.
He spent his life writing books.
Meditating, praying, and teaching.
Excellent. Very good. So we have Saint Thomas, or he, which is our subject, spent his life, which is our predicate. Technically only spent, but we have to include spent his life so that we know we're not talking about money. Spent his life teaching. Then now we have the answer. Writing. What were the other two things you said, Kingston? He spent his life teaching, writing, meditating, and praying. So we have our subject, St. Thomas, or the word he. Our predicate, what the action is, spent his life, and then the answer to the question, teaching, writing, meditating, and praying. If you also included that he spent his life as a professor of theology, you are correct, but you needed all of these things. Kingston, where did you find that answer? Page 8. So everybody look at the very first sentence of the second paragraph on page 8. It says, word for word, Thomas became a professor of theology. He spent his life teaching, writing, meditating, and praying. So there's the answer, word for word, just like I said it would be. Okay, thank you, Kingston. Number 4, what is the most famous of St. Thomas's writings? Aaron.
The most famous. The most famous of Thomas's writings is his
Just try it out.
Summa
Summa. Theology, something like that. I'm not exactly sure, that's in Latin, so I'm not exactly sure how to say it, but number 4, his most famous, well, we're not going to do the other activity, but that's okay, because we didn't really need to do it. I just didn't think this would take as long. His most famous writing. So there's our subject, his most famous writing was, there's our predicate, the action, or what's happening, the Summa Theologiae, is that how you spell it?
Yes.
Okay, yes. So we have the subject, his most famous writing, the predicate was, and then the answer to the question, the Summa Theologiae. Where did you find that answer, Aaron?
I found it right here.
So where? Tell me. On the page. What page?
Page 8.
And where is it on the page? Does everybody know what I'm talking about when I say like the third paragraph or the second paragraph? Look for the indentation. That's the beginning of a paragraph. That little space between the edge and where the writing starts, that is a new paragraph. So it's the very first sentence of the third paragraph on page 8. It says, word for word, the most famous of Thomas's writings is his Summa Theologiae. So there it is in black and white. Now, number 5, last question, and then we will move on. We're not going to do the activity today. We didn't need to. I just thought we would have some extra time, and then we'll move on to science. Number 5, toward the end of his life, what did Thomas ask of Jesus? What did Thomas ask of Jesus? Michaela? Can somebody help her out? What did Thomas ask of Jesus? Victoria? Please don't make sound, otherwise next time I won't call on you.
Thomas said, only you, Lord.
Saint Thomas, there's our subject, asked, and then we have a quote, which we will learn later, but for now you put a comma and then the quote. Only yourself, Lord. And Victoria, where did you find the answer to that question?
I found it on the second paragraph on number 8.
Not the second paragraph. The second paragraph is Thomas became a professor of theology. The fourth paragraph starts, Thomas felt that what he had written, blah, 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 blah. So where it is, everybody look,
It's at the bottom.
it's towards the bottom of page 8, the end of the fourth paragraph, towards the end it says, in black and white, word for word, toward the end of his life, as Thomas knelt before a crucifix, he heard a voice from the crucifix say, "You have written well of me, Thomas. What would you have as a reward?" St. Thomas replied or asked, "Only yourself, Lord." There it is in black and white. What did he mean by that? What did he mean when he asked, "Only yourself, Lord"? What was he asking for in return for his writings? Jesus said, "What do you want? You have written so well of me. What do you want?" Stop playing with it. "What do you want from me?" And St. Thomas said, "Only yourself, Lord." What was he asking for? Victoria?
I think to be in heaven.
To be in heaven. He only wanted Jesus. He wanted to be with Jesus. That was all he wanted. Jesus may have given him any of the riches in the world that he wanted. And he said, "No, I only want to be with you. I want to be in heaven with you." Very good. Okay. So again, for the second time, does everybody see how all of the answers to these questions are in the book right in front of you?